Hey everybody, today we are making sauteed mushrooms. I want to show you how to do this. It's a basic recipe. Everybody should know how to do it. These mushrooms are so good on just about any recipe you can think of, except for maybe I wouldn't put them on ice cream as a topping. You can use it for topping your potatoes, you can put them in your eggs, you can put them on your salad, put them on a steak, fish, chicken, I mean, you name it. The ideas are endless, and they are so good and delicious, and they're good for you too. I'm Rockin Robin, and I'm gonna show you how to do it right after our chef joke. All right, so we're gonna start off with our first chef joke. The second one will be just a little bit later. All right, here we go. What did the girl mushroom say to the boy mushroom? You're a fun guy. Now, when you're at the store buying your mushrooms, you're gonna see them loose in bins, or you're gonna see them packaged up like this. Now, you gotta be careful when you buy them like this, because this traps moisture into the mushrooms, and they're more likely to get moldy. So keep an eye out for that. In fact, when I was buying these, I found one that was pretty moist looking, and in fact, it did have some mold growing on it. So be aware of that. Picking them from the bin, they don't have organic always, so I tend to go with the organic ones, as you can see, but so just keep your eye out for that. Now we're going to start off here with the shiitake, and this one has a nice flavor. We're going to pull off that stem because it's not edible. And if they're dirty, you know, you're going to want to take a paper towel and just, you know, wipe them up. Mostly I notice it with the others, but these could use a little wipe down as well. You don't really want to rinse them underwater. You know, mushrooms absorb everything, so you don't want to add more water to the mix. We actually want to cook that moisture out so that these, you know, can caramelize and not just steam. So I'll take a few of those. And these have a nice earthy flavor. I really like them. They're great. Now with the baby bells, as they call them, or the cremini mushrooms, now these you definitely want to start wiping off. So just, you know, brush it off a little bit, get any excess dirt off, and then I like to trim off just a little bit of the end cap. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing that with all of these. Well, not all of them, I'm not going to make them all, but enough. You want to make more than you think you're going to need, because they do cook down quite a bit. And then you'll say, oh my gosh, I should have made more. So to chop these up, I like to do slices. You could cut them, you know, in half, but that's pretty big. You could cut them in quarters, you know, and leave them in chunky if that's how you like them. I don't personally like them in big pieces. So what I do is I'll cut them into quarters when they're this size, and then I will chop them into slices. So I'll slice them up like that, because that's how I like them. But feel free to do whatever, you know, cut them however you want. As thick as you want, as thin as you want. It all works. So I've got a non-stick pan here, and I'm going to put the temperature on medium high. I want to get it hot, okay, essentially. And I'm going to add some olive oil to the pan. Now the mushrooms are going to, of course, absorb that. You want to get the moisture out of these before you season them. And the reason for that is so that they will caramelize and taste yummy. So I'm going to let that get warm. I've got all my stuff laid out here. I got my mushrooms right here, and I'm going to place them into the pan. All right, we're going to stir these up. And we're just going to cook them. This is probably going to take about 5 minutes or so. Don't put a lid on this, whatever you do, because we don't want to keep the moisture in. We want the moisture to come out of these mushrooms. Now, a mistake a lot of people make is not cooking the mushrooms enough. You want them to get brown up and caramelize, because that's when they're going to taste their best. And the texture is going to change as well. Some people don't like that, what they call them, slimy kind of texture. And you know, nobody likes that, but so make sure, like, you know, some people might think this is done. Well, it's not even close. So just keep on going and make sure your heat is high enough. You'll also notice that I have not salted this yet, and we're not going to do that until the very end. Okay, so it must be time for chef joke number 2. Here we go. What kind of sound does a mushroom car make? Shroom, shroom. All right, so I think you can see here that we're starting to get that caramelization going on. Do you see that? I mean, there's some right here, here, and there. It's getting real good now. So I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit. And we're gonna do the garlic. We're gonna add that garlic to this. So I'm gonna cook that garlic in for about 1 minute. Now it's time to add a little bit of salt. Now you're gonna wanna turn the temperature down extremely low or off and then add some wine. And the reason for doing that is so that it doesn't flare up. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of butter to this. And a touch of pepper. We'll cook this for a couple more minutes. Okay, let's serve it up. And if you like, you can garnish it up with a little fresh parsley. Let's give these a taste and I'll tell you how they taste. Delicious earthy flavor, chewy, more meat-like almost. They are delicious. You're gonna love these on everything except ice cream. Gotta give these a go, guys. These are so good. I just could sit here and just eat these just like they are. So delicious. Now I have the perfect recipe for you to add these to, and that's my filet mignon video on how to cook one. This would just take it over the top. You guys need to make these and check out that video. You'll love it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and smash that like button for me. See you next time for another rockin' recipe.